Unc is known for really beating the shit out of rental cars.
Couch fishing.
He could smooth talk like a priest.
He was a hog.
A rich goddamn dentist.
And he was always the king.
That's a toast.
So the group of people that are gathered here today are the group of people that John felt nearest and dearest to. And we're here to celebrate the life of our beloved JRW. There are a lot of stories which can operate to fill a void, the void that we all feel that he left.
One of the reasons everybody is out here is because White, if you got in the club, was a terrific fucking friend. He never let me down. I mean, he let me down all the fucking time. But in terms of the important shit, he never let me down in 39 years.
He's guided my entire value system, which is scary. You know?
Your dad would have been pretty scary too.
That's fucking scary.
There are hundreds of stories.
When you and John had the snowball fight, were you actually arrested?
Who's been here when he's put a chainsaw on the fire?
When the woman, the other guy's wife came out and hit you with the shovel in the head?
Oh my God.
White is clearing all these civilians away, and these two Arab sheiks, as Diane and I come off the plane, they're like on their knees and they're doing this shit.
That's the beginning of the myth.
I have no
The
idea.
legends, the
I
legends.
have no idea.
So, the summer after my dad died, they sent me up here to work with John. He took me out on the Kuskokwim in the regulator, and Reggie. And he cut the engine at some point, and we started drifting. Fuck. And he started lighting his pipe and smoking it. And he said, "Fuck Montana, this is big sky country." And it was open tundra and sky as far as you could see. And it was beautiful. And he reintroduced just beauty and magic back into my world. It wasn't a gray soup anymore, it had color in it. And then of course, you know, over the years, it was a fucking fluorescent Technicolor nightmare.
It was actually love at first sight for me. Really, really love at first sight. And so, you know, we're talking about my moving. Oh, that's great with him. And I said, but you know, I would need to get married. He took the ice bucket and dumped it over his head. That was the end of the conversation.
He was a man with a gigantic personality, and of course he was very outrageous, but he also had a very serious side, and we'd like to hear from both of those parts of John.
John White was a pioneer of dentistry in the YK Delta.
He made a huge difference in changing how the people of Alaska think about this source of food in your community and your right to be able to have that fishery.
The legacy he has left with fisheries is just phenomenal, and it's going to live on for generations.
All the work that he's done with subsistence is absolutely true, and even more so. We'd often express concern about leadership in the statewide level of people who had no experience in rural Alaska. That was a real concern of his, and one that I shared. But he will really be missed.
He taught me to see Bethel
Early in my career, back in the 70s and the early 80s, I used to pass through Bethel on my way to the Yukon. But I never really saw Bethel until I met John and got to be John's friend. And John taught me that Bethel is about people. It's about remarkable people, people that John loved deeply, and people who reciprocated that love.
He taught me how to have a good time. He taught me how to fish. He taught me how to tell stories. Shit, he taught me how to get arrested. But he also taught me how to work with my hands and love people. And he learned that here in Bethel.
And that's when I finally fully understood why John wanted to die here. And I thank you for it. I thank you so much, all of you. And that's why he was in politics, and that's why he fought for salmon, and that's why he did everything he did, because he loved you and he loved this place. So I just wanted to say thank you. Nothing made John happier than the sound of a spud gun exploding. So we're gonna give him a 21 gun spud gun salute. Only thing is, they only work half the time, so we have to keep count. When one goes off, that's one.
And I keep looking for her, actually, because I worry about
This is from Phil Mundy, who worked with John on salmon stuff for years and years and years. It's almost time to say goodbye, John. You're going down the river, and I will be left standing here on the bank. But before you go, I need to say thanks for all the good times. Let's remember watching the midnight sun across Cook Inlet from the Crow's Nest. Let's remember barbecues at Mitchell's. Let's remember fishing for rainbows on the Kenai and stripers on the Kennebec. Let's remember snowy egrets and pelicans watching us eat breakfast at Robbie's. Patrick's ceviche, trees full of giant iguanas and birding in the Keys. Let's remember Double Jack on the Rocks and the Rod and Reel Club, and flocks of vultures hopping along the streets of Everglades City. There's so much more to say, but I have to let you go. It's good to know you will never be far away, as you will always be in my heart. I love you, brother, and goodbye.
So here's to a life well lived and far too short. God bless you, John.